Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust you are meant to be. Please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. These help support my mission of creating more peace on Earth. Welcome in, collective. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get started with a reading, and we're just going to do an open message from Spirit. We're just going to see what kind of mood Spirit's in today, what kind of energy are we dealing with today, what would we like to hear about, Spirit? Thank you so much for allowing me to be a channel for these divine messages. I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these cards, and we'll just see what kind of message we are going to be looking for. A message to pass on. Okay, we've got a message to pass on. Oh, let's see here. We'll do a 4-card spread here. Okay, we're starting out with a 3 of Swords. Okay, this is something painful happening here. Maybe perhaps like a betrayal of some kind. We'll have to clarify to understand. There's an opportunity here. What is it, Spirit? Oh, a 2 of Cups. Okay. So this could be about reconciliation. What's the challenge here, Spirit? What is the challenge here? Ace of Swords. Truth? There could be some truth that's posing a challenge. Somebody may need to speak their truth. There could also be a need to come up with some plans, like there needs to be a new idea. There might need to be a new solution to a problem. There may need to be words spoken that have never been spoken before, something like this. And the action is to do it. Move quickly, and just do it. Okay, so this is the underlying kind of overarching message. Yeah, let's get some clarifiers here. This is interesting, guys. Let us see. Let us see, Spirit. This looks like a true love situation where there was some hurt in the past. Somebody did something that hurt another, or these two got into some, big blowout fight and mean things were said. There's lots of different ways we can experience betrayal. There could be secrets that were kept that shouldn't have been kept, or maybe should is not the right word to use, but that were kept and which, had an effect on the other person in some kind of way that didn't feel good. Maybe they felt, lying by omission, that kind of thing. Sometimes people don't tell us things for our protection. Other times there's an underlying element of manipulation, right? So depending on how somebody's viewing it, this is a conversation the two might need to have. Spirit, help us clarify, though, this 3 of Swords here. That Hermit, 4 of Pentacles, and the World. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I think we're talking about a betrayal that happened in a partnership of some kind. As a result of this betrayal, somebody, or one or both of these counterparts, has had to go into a kind of secluded period of time where they are perhaps separated from each other, or just spending a lot of time alone, trying to, find that inner guidance, find that wisdom that, in the lesson here. There may also be a need, because it's a partnership, to gain some clarity, to be able to see clearly what really is going on, what is the issue here, and then processing that within oneself, so that when it is time to speak, you can be clear-minded and come from a place of wisdom. I see here too, with this Four of Pentacles, there's a real desire to maintain some type of stability here, even though there's this betrayal. I really get the feeling that whatever hurt there is, there's a desire, and actually it seems to be the case, that this cycle is actually closing out, that perhaps this time of looking within, finding answers, will lead to a successful completion and reconciliation. But with this Four of Pentacles, what I was going to say is that there is a need, maybe on the part of one or both of these counterparts, to maintain a sense of stability. We see somebody very focused on their money here in this card. They're thinking about it all the time, with the one that's on top of the head there. They're holding on to it, right? And they're, keeping those pentacles firmly beneath their feet, so they're not going to be going anywhere. There's this sense that it just permeates all aspects of one's life here with this Four of Cups. So there are two meanings here in the context of this reading so far. One is that there's a need or a desire, and perhaps this is also the pathway to success, and that is stability. There needs to be a sense regaining balance and stability here. But there's also this sense that there's maybe been too much focus on finances. Perhaps this is part of what was not discussed. Should have been, could have been, needs to be in the future. But by recognizing this as an unmet need, perhaps, of one of the people in this relationship, spending that time alone, figuring out what needs to be said, and saying it, can lead to achievement, success, right? Even a sense of accomplishment, if it allows the relationship to successfully move ahead after a big break, a big betrayal. Let's clarify the Two of Cups. What can we know here? This is the opportunity. The opportunity appears to be coming together, a reconciliation, perhaps. Alternately, these people could be moving on to new partners. So let's see if we can get some info on what this is what's happening here, this opportunity. Okay, well, we have here a Ten of Wands, which is positive in this sense, because it's a completion, just like the world is a completion. Those wands, that burden's going to get laid down. It has to be, because it's the end. Okay. We have an Ace of Wands, yeah. And as a result of doing that, after that happens, there can be a passionate new beginning for these two, or with new partners, perhaps. And Temperance. Huh, okay. Well, it could go either way with this. Wands are about, aces are about new beginnings. But we can always have new beginnings with, people that are already in our lives. We clearly see that there's a laying down of the burdens that's happening now. And with this Temperance angel here, there is a sense that this relationship is going to survive. We see that this person's been very strong, carrying all these wands. It has been quite heavy. We also see that there's this opportunity for continued renewal in the area of passion, creativity. There's, continuous desire. So that's really positive to see that here, if this is a reconciliation. And with the Temperance, what I'm really drawn to is this cups here, this pouring back and forth of the water. There's this element of infinity, that this goes on forever and ever. And it's sort of a gravity-defying thing too, right? Because there seem to be two streams of water, one flowing downhill and the other flowing uphill. And so this symbolizes balance. The card means harmony. It's also about peace. An angel is, an angel walking among us is somebody who's done most of their healing work, in the sense that, they've got enough tools to get through life in a way that's graceful, harmonious, peaceful. They're not causing a kerfuffle wherever they go, or when things get rough. And so there's a sense that maybe after this is resolved, there is going to be some kind of big elevation in the partnership, some kind of huge breakthrough to a new level of consciousness, to a new level of harmony and understanding, maybe cohesiveness. I'm thinking about, what does this mean? These two cups are sort of connected forever, right? And they're together, cohesive, You see the two cups here. And we can see that the masculine is reaching out for the feminine, who's holding their cup up as well. So we see the masculine reaching toward her, or the feminine. Take the genders as they apply, guys. You can reverse them or just use they instead. Yeah, so there's a big opportunity here for a lot of healing to happen. That is the opportunity. And, if this is about moving on to new partnerships, it also bodes really well, okay? Because there'll be an end to the grieving because of the betrayal. There'll be a passionate new start, and it will be a harmonious connection. Alrighty. Talk to us about the Ace of Swords, Spirit. Talk to us about this Ace of Swords. This is a new idea. Could be a new beginning. This is about the individual. We have a Queen of Cups. Okay. And the Star. And the Sun. The Queen of Cups is, very nurturing, loving, compassionate, understanding, almost maternal in a way. What I'm getting here is, harsh truths. If there's a harsh truth, the Queen of Cups can be an emotional type of an energy. And sometimes, with the Queen of Cups, we do have somebody who has mastered their emotions. I'm realizing this needs to be covered up. Nonetheless, the truth can cut. The truth can be harsh. Usually this is a really positive card, but it's also about the individual. So maybe, you know, there's a challenge in, because this is a partnership, there's a challenge in each individual speaking their truth. You know, this could be about the communication dynamics between the two. And with the Queen of Cups, there's a sense that there's mastery on the feminine side, but we don't know necessarily about the masculine side, though we do have the Sun, which isn't Leo. I think this is a masculine energy. Yeah. So there's a challenge for the two individuals around communication. But these other two cards are very positive. You know, the Star, Aquarius energy, is about healing. It's about kind of connecting with, receiving guidance from the stars, from the cosmos. There's a sense of being sort of divinely led, and it is echoed here with the Temperance card. Divinely guided, in a sense. These stars emit light. It's not as bright as the sun, but they do emit light. And there are many, many, many of them. And then the Sun card here, this is all about optimism. The sun illuminates. And so there's a sense here that the truth, maybe the individual counterparts' truths are being illuminated to one another at this time. And that can be challenging. You know, people have different communication styles. But with the Star card here, I think it bodes really well. So, you know, the obstacle or the challenge might be having forbearance, maybe is the word, like holding space for the other to speak. Do that active listening thing where you don't interrupt, you truly listen to what is being said, not to respond, but to truly hear what is being said, reflect back that you're understanding correctly, okay? And then when it's your turn, then it's your turn to express your truth. Yeah, you know, the path to reconciliation is very much about changed behavior. You know, if there's something in the past that has been a betrayal, if it is about money, for example, which is kind of what we got here, somebody being a little bit too controlling around the financial piece, maybe somebody not sharing everything with the other partner. It could be somebody not disclosing certain incomes. It could be, you know, not sharing with the other person in a fair way. Just having trouble in general around discussions to do with money. I mean, money is, and wealth can be a big problem in relationships. Now, the Pentacles aren't only about money, right? It can also be about places, things, other people, anything in the tangible world. So the problem is something in the tangible world. We could have an individual who isn't willing to give up other commitments, relationships, wanting to hold on. Not that there's an expectation that anybody should ever be expected to let go of relationships. However, you know, some people prefer that there not be any other romantic entanglements or sexual entanglements. And I think the reason for this is for the sake of balance, which we see clearly with that Two of Cups. But I do see that for who I'm talking to, if this is resonating for you, that whatever this obstacle was, that it is going to be somehow repaired. So when we're talking about reconciliation, you know, especially if somebody has been hurt, you know, I feel like this is also about revelation, revealing the truth, okay? we can't expect others to reveal things that they're not ready to reveal, but we can communicate our unmet needs and why that might be so. I have a need for openness, for example. You may have a need for openness, collective, or you may have a need to, if you're feeling guilty or burdened, you may have a need for, I don't know, maybe forgiveness. So yeah, this obstacle, it is about how do we go about reconciling things. The sun is very much about revelation. We're revealing, things are being revealed. There's a sense that there needs to be some healing in the connection, and the action to take is very much an action. It's not enough just to say, I'm sorry. We need to see changed behavior. If you're truly sorry, you will take it deep within yourself and allow it to transform your behaviors. Otherwise, you can't really expect somebody to, trust you, essentially. Trust that what you're saying is the truth. And obviously, the truth and trust are absolutely foundational for healthy relationships. Without it, it's dicey. I think a lot of people live that way. Maybe I'm too rigid or something. I mean, I know that it's not realistic to think somebody's going to tell you every secret. It's not that. But I think people have different levels of tolerance. Let's just say that. I personally highly value openness, transparency, and truth. I think it fosters an environment of safety and trust. And I think, like I said, people have different levels of what they need. So again, that's about sorting that out through communication. Okay, you may be able to reconcile. There's an opportunity to do it, no doubt about that. But there needs to be some effective, open, honest communication. Some truths need to be revealed, and then we need to see that changed action, that changed behavior. Clarify that, please, Spirit. That Eight of Wands, Death, the Fool. Wow, y'all. And the Ace of Cups. Wow, you guys. Sometimes these cards are just crazy. Well, look. This action very clearly is going to help put something behind. It's going to end something. It's going to end this betrayal. It's going to end this period of time where maybe there's a separation. It's going to end the grief that comes along with it. It's going to allow you to release it. It needs to be released. If you're going to have a reconciliation, okay, which is represented by the Two of Cups, you're going to speak some truth. You're either going to come to some mutual understanding and come back together, or you're going to leave it as, hey, I'm glad we could have this open, honest conversation. I don't think this is something I can live with. I mean, that's just the truth of it. But no matter what, you're going to finally be able to release something. Now, you know if this is something you want to release or not. Okay, so how you go into it, what your expectations are, if this is resonating for you. Are you open-minded that a reconciliation is possible, or if not? If not, maybe this reading will help you consider it from a different viewpoint. But here with the Death card, it's like, even if you don't think you want a reconciliation, but you're listening to this reading, it's saying you can take all of this to heart. Maybe it is possible and you don't realize, but even if it's not, after you do all of this hard work of communicating and all this, it's still okay to release it. Okay? For sure, you can put some of the pain behind. Right after that, we have a new start. The Death brings about a new beginning, and here we see it. This person is traveling light. I like to think of it that way. There's a sense of happiness. In that little sack, he's got his past experiences, lessons from the past. He's holding a flower, which is something beautiful and delicate, and it's actually maybe a plant. It might grow in the future. We see that, this person's just about to take a leap of faith into the unknown. But what I'm seeing in this reading is that whatever happens at the end, okay, of this journey, if this is resonating for you, there is new love here. Either with your person, it'll either strengthen your connection that you have, or you will find it someplace else, because going through this is an act of love for your partner, okay, for the connection. So it's an act of love. You're giving this person an opportunity to be open, honest, truthful. You're understanding that no matter what happens, the divine is always going to give you another new cup of love if you're open to receiving it. So there might be a need to ask yourself, am I open to receiving this gift of love, of new love, of a new start in love? But I do see that the action is to do it. The message here is take the action. Don't let this be the end. This is what the message is. Don't let this be the end. I do see here the masculine is reaching his hand out to the feminine. And this is a harmonious way of being in a masculine-feminine dynamic. Doesn't matter what your sex is, okay? You could be the female and you could be the masculine. And your partner could be a female and they could be the feminine. But the point is the masculine energy reaches out to the feminine energy. If you're dealing with like two eunuchs, two completely balanced neutral people, maybe this is moot. Maybe this is just, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I think there is a lot of wisdom in this, though. A masculine energy taking a leadership role here. Because the feminine's nature is a vessel to hold, right? With the womb, the feminine energy is just by nature a container. Whereas, the hand, the reaching out, that action, it's like the phallus, right? That's the natural energy. When we're looking at counterparts, because why would a male and a female be together, or masculine and feminine? To create, right? So yeah, nice message today, guys. Let's see here. Let's get we'll get a couple of these oracle cards. This is from the Soul Journey deck. Let's see here. Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. I don't know, put it here, put it here. It could go either, Let's see. Let's get another one. Spirit. One more, please. For the collective. Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Well, that could go over there. A lot of red. Got two red cards. So that's the root chakra. This is about your sense of grounding, your sense of safety. Okay, having your basic needs met or not met. But the next chakra up, the second chakra, is about, it's like the sexuality, and it's about connection. It's how we connect to others. And, you know, this reading is about the need for connection, which is the second chakra. So we see we go from red up into a little bit more orange, which is that second chakra. Oh, let's see. Let's get another one. Abundance, another one. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. This really speaks to the idea that if reconciliation is what you're wanting, believe it. You are a limitless being. You can manifest this if you want it. You really can. And if you don't, you can manifest new love. But there is something about the root chakra here that is so important. I'm just getting it so strongly. And, you know, the root chakra is about getting your most basic needs met and feeling safe. Like you have a right to exist. You have a right to exist. And sometimes in really serious betrayals and things, or just heartbreak, we do sometimes question our worthiness. Are we worthy of being here? Like, am I worthy of love? But just the right to be here, you know, especially if it's financial. If there was like some kind of financial abuse, or I don't know, that's a harsh word, but yeah, something sneaky, something not being out in the open, you know, this kind of thing. Money is related to the root chakra. In our culture, it goes to our ability to get fed, to be fed, to have a roof over our heads. So when somebody's messing with that, or there's anything around that, it does affect our sense of safety. And that's a really big deal, guys. It really and truly is a big deal. And I think that's really coming out here with these oracle cards. Okay, so that's kind of one more extra little bonus message here. Do it for that reason. Okay, because, you know, we are all interconnected beings. And when we help another person to heal, okay, if you, collective, have been the one who has perhaps kept a secret or something like this, or if you are the one in the other position, right? If this was done to you, if you were the one betrayed, it hurts everybody, okay? It's not just the victim perpetrator mentality, okay? Both people have an opportunity in there for healing. We really limit ourselves when we want to put people into these boxes and label people this way, because we're all humans. We're all having a human experience, and what one person is working out in this lifetime as far as karmic lessons is going to be different from the next. So, you know, with this card and this card, you know, be compassionate. Allow somebody to reveal the truth to you. And if you need truth, don't be afraid to ask for it. If you need healing, you can ask for it. You don't have to ask the person for it. You can ask Spirit to help you. Okay, but you do have a right to feel safe and to heal from this betrayal. Alrighty? I feel like I was kind of talking in circles a little bit about these red cards here, the root chakra, but when we heal our own root chakra, it ripples out and it helps everybody else's root chakras, okay? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right, collective, thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.